Ruy Lopez opening, Berlin, El Hermit, Berlin wall defense, 9.nc3bd7. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. A typical answer is e5, which builds a position in the middle, controls d4, and frees up the queen and bishop on the dark square. The move nf3 advances the knight toward the center, engages the e5 piece in combat, and sets up a castle. nc6 defends the pawn on e5, advances the knight toward the center, and scans the d4 square. The Ruy Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. nf6 advances the knight and engages in an attack on the exposed e4 pawn. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. nxe4 captures the e4 pawn and places the knight in the center of the board, where it controls many important squares. d4 opens up the center, attacks the e5 pawn and allows the dark squared bishop to develop. d6 retreats the knight to a central square, where it attacks the bishop on b5. bxc6 captures the knight and forces black to double the c-pawns. dxc6 captures the bishop, opens up the d-file and allows the light squared bishop to develop. dxe5 captures the e5 pawn, attacks the knight on d6 and controls the f6 square. nf5 moves the knight to an active square, where it controls d4. qxd8 plus trades queens and stops black from castling. kxd8 recaptures the queen. The d5 and e4 squares are under the control of nc3, which advances the knight into the center. bd7 develops the light squared bishop and opens the c8 square for the king. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. This threatens to take an open file with the rook. It is the last book move. There were worse moves, but also something much better. It is an inaccuracy. What I would have advised is that it is ideal. Very precise. It is best. This misses a much better move. It is a mistake. This misses a chance to advance a rook from its starting square. It is incorrect. This ignores an opportunity to centralize a knight so it controls more squares. This allows the opponent to develop a piece while also winning a tempo on a rook. It is an inaccuracy. This develops a piece while also winning a tempo on a rook. It is best. Now that the rook is on an open file, it is easier to control squares all over the board. It is ideal. By moving a rook from its starting square, this activates it. That's good. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. The knight can now control more squares as a result. It is quite good. This exposes an attack, threatening a pawn. This is the only move that works. This threatens to fork pieces. It is a great move. This ignores a superior technique for capturing a pawn that was posing a material danger. It is incorrect. This is the only good move. It is best. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. This exchange is fair. It is quite good. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This steps away from the checking knight. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This forces doubled pawns in front of the opponent's king, decreasing its safety and harming the pawn structure. It is best. Recaptures. It is ideal. A solid choice. It is excellent. This shifts the bishop to a square with more activity, giving it greater scope. That's good. This misses an opportunity to threaten winning a rook. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a knight. It is an inaccuracy. This overlooks an opportunity to add a defender to a vulnerable knight. It is a mistake. What I would have advised is that it is ideal. As a result, the rooks are placed in a single file and are able to cooperate to pose a danger. It is quite good. The rooks are linked by this, making it easier for them to work together in the future. That's good. This protects an underdefended knight that is under attack. It is good. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players.